Every single morning, billions of people perform the exact same ritual. You squeeze a blob of minty fluoride paste onto a synthetic plastic handle, scrub your mouth for 2 minutes, and spit it into the sink. It feels completely natural. But if you step back just a few hundred years, virtually every single part of that sentence would sound like complete science fiction. So how did humans keep their teeth from rotting into black pegs before plastic and toothpaste existed? If you think people in ancient times just let their teeth rot, think again. Over 5,000 years ago in ancient Babylon and Egypt, people invented the world's very first tooth cleaning device, the chew stick. They would hunt for small twigs from trees like neem or miswak, chew one end until the tough wood fibers frayed into bushy bristles, and sharpen the opposite end into a toothpick. And it actually worked surprisingly well, because tree twigs like neem contain natural antibacterial chemicals that fought off oral bacteria. By the time the Roman Empire reached its peak, humans wanted something much stronger to scour off plaque. Without chemical detergents, Roman dentists had to improvise. They created abrasive scrubbing powders made from ground eggshells, crushed oyster shells, burnt ox hooves, and pumice stone. Wealthy Romans would literally take a handful of crushed animal bones and rub it directly against their enamel using a damp rag. But the Romans didn't stop at crushed bones. They wanted white, sparkling teeth, and they discovered a bizarre chemical secret. Ancient Romans imported barrels of human urine from Portugal. Why? Because urine contains high concentrations of ammonia, a natural bleaching agent. Wealthy Romans would literally gargle aged urine every morning as a mouthwash to bleach their yellow teeth white. Roman poets even wrote satirical poems mocking politicians for having teeth that smelled like ammonia. While Europeans were scrubbing their teeth with crushed bones and gargling urine, people in 15th century Ming Dynasty China made a massive technological breakthrough. Around 1498, an inventor realized that wood fibers were too soft, so they plucked stiff, coarse hairs from the neck of a wild boar and wired them tightly into small drilled holes along a carved cattle bone handle. This was the world's very first true bristle toothbrush. When these Chinese pig bristle brushes finally reached Europe centuries later, they were considered luxury items reserved only for kings and nobles. That is, until 1780, when a man named William Addis was sitting inside England's Newgate prison. Addis was serving time for starting a riot. While sitting in his cell watching prisoners clean their teeth with rags, soot, and salt, he saved a bone from his dinner meal, bribed a guard for pig bristles, drilled holes into the bone, and glued the bristles inside. When he was released from prison, he started the world's first mass-production toothbrush company, making teeth cleaning affordable for the working class. Even with bone toothbrushes, toothpaste was still a nightmare. In the 1800s, people brushed their teeth with pulverized chalk, charcoal powder, and even ground soap. It wasn't until the 1890s that toothpaste was finally put into collapsible metal tubes like we use today. And what about those pig hair brushes? Boar bristles had a disgusting secret. They were hollow. They trapped water and harbored millions of bacteria inside the hair shafts, making the brushes rot after a few weeks. Finally, on February 24, 1938, the chemical giant DuPont introduced a revolutionary synthetic plastic called nylon. They released Dr. West's Miracle Tuft, the world's first synthetic toothbrush. Nylon bristles were completely hygienic, durable, waterproof, and cheap. When World War II soldiers were ordered to brush their teeth daily, the habit stuck, changing human hygiene forever. So the next time you squeeze fresh mint paste onto your soft plastic toothbrush, remember, just a few generations ago, you would have been scrubbing your mouth with crushed animal bones, pig neck hair, and aged urine.